The following program, though incredibly nerdy, is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised, and you probably shouldn't watch if you're an overly sensitive pussy.
What up? Hello and good morning, all ye nerds and nerd Avengers. It's gonna be another good one, man. We've got some hot stories to talk about. Some crazy things going on out there in the nerdy world. There is a supposed scene from Avengers Doomsday leaked out onto the internet. It's out in even worse quality than the Spider-Man Brand New Day leaked trailers. So what the hell? We're going to talk about it. We're going to consider whether it's real or not and kind of explain what could be going on with Russian hackers. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that Russian hackers in the year of 2026 might be fucking up Kevin Feige shit? Well, we're going to talk about it. I also have a super hot MCU take, something I've been thinking a lot about. I wanted to put it into words and go on a little bit of a rant. It has to do with the fall off of Marvel Cinematic Universe and why I think that fall off actually set them up perfectly for the success that I think they're about to have. It's kind of interesting. It's a little bit of a bizarre take, but we'll get into it. Also, want to go over X-Men 97 Season 2 reviews. The review embargo's out. The show drops soon. People are fucking hyped, dude. We got to talk about this because I know there's a lot of concern with the removal of Bo DeMeo. You know, how would Season 2 of X-Men 97 do? X-Men 97 Season 1 peak, dude. Like, absolutely incredible, and I think something the Marvel fandom really needed at the time. So pretty crazy. We'll get into that because it looks like even without Bo, and maybe Bo frankly left a lot for them to work with, whatever the case, it seems like they've got it figured out, man. It's like at almost 100% right now with reviews, so we'll get into that. We'll talk about it. Pretty peak. Also, and I'm sure many of you guys saw this, Daniel RPK finally confirmed. He finally confirmed that Sadie Sink is Jean Grey. Took you long enough, Daniel, you freaking butthole, but it is kind of cool. We'll get into that. We'll talk about it. And it's actually great timing because there's something else I want to talk about with regards to Sadie Sink's Jean Grey, which hopefully now we can all accept as reality, because I've got to take it further. It's not enough that it's Jean Grey. I got to talk about my Dark Phoenix theory. And yeah, I've got actual reasons why this could be the case, but I need to explain it in full detail. So that's what's on the agenda for today, chat. How's everybody doing? I hope you guys had a great weekend. Still messing with the lighting, still messing with everything in here. So sorry, it looks a little not the same as last time, but hopefully we'll have that all dialed in within the next couple of weeks so that it's consistent and whatnot. But how you guys doing, man? How was the weekend? How about those fights last night? You know, I know that having the fights at the White House is contentious. It caused some consternation How many other multi-syllable words that begin with C can I come up with here? It was something that people were a little bit divided on, including myself. I wasn't crazy about the government being involved with the fights, but I gotta say, game is game, and credit where credit is due. Phenomenal card, phenomenal production, all the effort, the time, and the money that went into that was pretty cool, because the production was awesome. The live music in particular was like, I don't know, there was just something about that live music that was really, really cool. And the fights were incredible, man. I was a little disappointed that two of my picks for my parlays kind of gave up. Like, dude, Michael Chandler gave up. Derek Lewis gave up. They're both probably not going to get contract extensions. Might even get cut. That kind of sucked ass, because I like both those guys, and I've seen them perform well years ago, I guess. But that kind of sucked. And then I thought the Pereira fight was crazy. So don't worry, Marvel fans, we're gonna get into all this shit. But let me just talk a little bit about the UFC for a second here, because the Pereira fight, incredible, and Surreal is better than ever. And you could even see it a little bit in the Tom Aspinall fight. Obviously, he gouges out Tom's eyes to the back of his skull, and he also tried to end Alex's ability to eat solid foods by slamming him in the back of his head several times. I think Surreal is a somewhat dirty fighter, but he's very skilled, and I think he looks sharper than ever, man. I think he's gonna be a real problem for Tom, regardless of if Tom's affected by the sight, the vision stuff or not. I think he's gonna be a real problem for him. And yeah, what a sort of devastating loss for Alex, but just, I really think it's more of the case of Surreal's abilities and skills and his power. Crazy freak athlete, man. Like, he really is a freak of an athlete. And it also makes John Jones look incredible. Like, dude, last night really solidified some of the GOATs, and that means Khabib. I've said before, I think Khabib's a little bit overrated, but man, when you consider what he did to Gaethje in his prime, and also Gaethje hurt him. Gaethje's actually one of the only modern fighters that ever took a round off of Khabib, actually. And so watching Justin do what he did to Ilya is kind of like reshapes how you think of Khabib, but also with John Jones. Dude, he literally was fat and came in and dipped under Surreal's bullshit and fucking choked the fuck out of him with ease, dude. So like, John Jones is just like, hate him or love him, he's just like a different animal. I really think it's mental. Like, John had this instinct for violence that was, I think, unmatched, frankly. So that was pretty incredible. And then the Justin fight itself, I mean, that Justin fight, like, holy shit, chat, like, holy shit. What an incredible fight. Weathered the storm of two very tough rounds where Ilya was just, I think he really wanted to get Justin out of there in the first and wasn't able to. But then when he went to the depths that he went to in round 2 to try to get Justin out and still couldn't finish him, he had basically nothing left. And he got fucking destroyed, dude. He got fucking destroyed. And look, I'll be honest with you, like, it serves him right. All that bullshit he was talking, all that cockiness. And the thing for me was, by the way, I won a good chunk of money betting on Justin, which was cool. And one of the reasons, because I was sort of saying this here and there, one of the reasons I thought Justin would beat Ilya is that Ilya just seemed unbalanced. He seemed off. And I think the divorce definitely messed with him mentally. He's always been really cocky, but this time around it was like an aggressive cockiness. It almost was like a sort of pick-me energy where he really felt like he had something to prove, almost maybe even to himself, which was like a big mistake. So I just felt like he was mentally not the same guy. And I just felt like Justin mentally was at a different place, a much better place than he had been in the past. And I think fighting's a real mental game. Ilya is obviously incredibly talented. The damage he did to Justin's real. And dude, he's so snappy with his striking that, like, he wobbled Justin several times in the first couple of rounds. But Justin just has that dog in him, dude. He was just like, nah, like, I'm just not going to give up. And we also have Mark, I'll let you fucking die, Goddard, reffing the match, which is great. And yeah, I thought it was awesome, dude. I thought it was awesome. So it was great. What did you guys think? I thought it was fantastic. Really enjoyed last night more than I thought I would. Great production and entertaining fights. Yeah, the production was great. Look, game is game. You got to give Dana credit. I mean, I don't obviously agree with Dana on everything, and I think he can be a bit of a dick face about certain things. But you got to give credit where credit is due, man. The way he builds a production and the way he can conceive of a production for fighting is unique. And he's just like gifted, man. Like he's just fucking gifted at that shit. Because that was great, dude. Like there's no. And again, I was a person that was, frankly, a little grumpy. I got real fucking grumpy, too, when it got delayed. I started to get hot. It's not their fault, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. It is what it is. By the way, too, I'll just say this. As the weather stuff was happening, right? I'm sitting here, probably like 100,000 other schizos in the world, and thinking to myself, if you're not going to use the weather manipulation for this, then like what the fuck are we doing here? You know, because they can manipulate the weather with HARP and shit like that. And then lo and behold, right at about 9, the fucking storm splits and goes around DC. I don't know if you noticed. So they did end up pulling out the tech. So I was like, thank God. You know what I mean? Like, don't be a pussy about this shit. Don't ruin this. And they didn't. It was great. So we'll just leave that one there, you know. Of course it's not real. It's not real. I'm just up here talking shit, you know. But also God bless America, you know. God bless the new Atlantis. Did you see the He-Man post? No, brother. I'm not gonna read I'm not reading the rest of that fucking comment. Appreciate you though. Confirmed, weather manipulation is real. I would never suggest that on my platforms. Emailed it on the head with the mental for both. Oh, nailed it on the head. Emailed it on the head. That's a new one. That divorce did a number on him. If there's a rematch, he will beat him. Yeah, Ilya needs to go home and rethink his life. You know, he doesn't want to sell you death sticks. You know, he wants to go home and rethink his life. I think that's truly what he needs. Ilya took Eric Trump bribe and threw the fight. Yeah, dude. What do you guys think of that shit with DC, huh? What do you think of that shit with DC? Because, like, I don't know about that shit, bro. So apparently now DC is claiming he got hacked. But Eric Trump first said that he got hacked. Right? Dude, I wish that Eric Trump would just come out and be like, yeah, I fucking thought the fights might be rigged. Who gives a fuck? You know I'm going to get away with it. Fuck you. I would literally have more respect I would have more respect for them if they just came out and said it. You know? But then again, you know, maybe they did get hacked in the day and age where Grok can actually verify such things and said it wasn't real and shit. You know, who knows? Yeah, last night absolutely solidified that John Jones is the unquestioned GOAT. He made simple work of Gone. I have to agree. You know, and again, I don't even particularly like Mr. Bones, you know, but dude, you just if you're a fan of the sport, you got to admit he just has that instinct. And you know, other people have said this before, that John had this ability to almost like sense that punches were coming first, and he had like a fluidity to him that you wouldn't necessarily imagine, you know, because he's like such a savage and you think he's just gonna like just barrel through you, but his actual talent was timing. His timing, bro. His timing. It's crazy. Zach says, met Tom Hiddleston this weekend at a con. One of the nicest people ever. Super dope. That's great, man. Good for you. Yeah, I mean, his energy from what I've, you know, just experienced in his interviews and stuff like that's always great. He's very thoughtful. Really cares about performance. Really cares about the character of Loki. Hell yeah. That's dope, man. Good for you. Good for you. All right, let me go through some of these chats, guys. Then we'll start to get into all these topics. It should be a really, really good show. But here's the thing. I did want to say a couple of different things. First off, we are going to do the Thor deep dive this Saturday. If you were here on Saturday over the weekend, I was just unable to do it, man. I had migraines. I felt like shit. I watched Thor, but I didn't really have like a lot to say about it. So I was like, I don't want to half-ass this. I want to full-ass this. So we pushed that to this Saturday. So if you remember, come on by. We still did a member stream on Saturday. It was actually pretty nice, pretty chill. But we'll do a deep dive for the members this Saturday. So that's number one. Number two, I'm looking for some new editors, okay? And I want to say too, I gotta be a little bit specific about this actually. I need editors that like have experiences. No offense, I don't need necessarily amateur editors. I need people that have actual editing experience. So if you have any professional editing experience, either like for a movie or some music video shit, or ideally, if you have done editing for other YouTubers in the past, and you're looking for some freelance editing work, hit me up. I have need of all kinds of editors right now, actually, because I'm sort of ramping up some plans and some new systems and things of that nature. So, dude, I need lots of good editors. I'm gonna try to push that on streams. I'm gonna try to put it in some videos and stuff too, just to see who's out there. Maybe this will be a good way to kind of connect to some new editors. So if you are an editor, hit me up, man. Best way is either Discord, Twitter, or email me at thedenofnerds.com. And again, really, no offense, but I don't need an amateur, like, you know, I know iMovie kind of shit. Like, I don't, please no. Like, with all due respect, no. I need to see a reel. And if you don't know what a reel is, don't even email me. All right, let's catch up on some of these chats. Hey, there's another generous one there from Jeremy. Yo, give me 1 second, bro. Oh, you're just giving some appreciation. That's awesome, man. Jeremy says with a 10 spot, no question or anything. Just want you to know I appreciate your content and the grind you take on to produce it for us. As a fellow creator, it's just nice to know people appreciate what you do. Yeah, and hey, man, I really thank you. Thank you so much. You know, it's a tough gig. I think if you get into content, you tend to understand why it's hard more than your average person. Because like your average person is like, what the fuck do you mean that's hard? He sits in front of the camera and bullshits and makes fun of James Gunn. What's hard about that, you know? But what they don't see is the years of study, the systems, the stress testing you do behind the scenes, the editing, the producing, the programming, you know, all these notes and what I do every morning to collect my thoughts. Yeah, it's a lot, man. I guess, how many pieces of content do I release a week? You know, I gotta, it's a lot, you know, and I'm sort of constantly working on content too. So yeah, appreciate it. Thank you, man. Thank you. That's very nice. Okay, first in today though was Pedro Everez with a 5 spot. Says, hey Josh, I DM you on Instagram a video of something showing Spider-Man trailer 2, breaking it down as legit. Thanks. What Instagram, by the way? My personal one, the Den of Nerds one? Which Instagram did you hit up? I Flow with a 10 spot. Thank you, brother. Says, good morning, Josh. I'm thankful for your migraine. It gave me time to catch up on Doomsday members only streams. Oh, okay. So now you're caught up and you can watch the next one with us. Well, that's good. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for the 10. That's very generous. Joshua Kimball Bluegrass says, I'm starting to think Spider-Man Brand New Day might be replacing the Kang Dynasty. It's grounded, has the same director, and has Spider-Man as the main character. Yep, I think you're right. This was a big shift behind the scenes for Marvel, but I think you're generally correct. I think you know, Marvel always works in sort of these whiteboard concept and ideas, which another thing that recently just came out, the Russos said that when they were planning Civil War, when they started planning Civil War, they were in a writers meeting and Kevin Feige just poked his head in and literally just said, Civil War is coming. And then they had to think about that, which is kind of wild. But all of that to say that it's very dynamic over there, right? So they had a plan for Kang Dynasty. It was going to be Destin. Tom Holland was going to be the lead. So essentially, the way you could think of it is Destin was all signed up to do an Avengers movie where Spider-Man was going to be the lead. Marvel changes their plan. That movie changes and merges with the Sony movie for Spider-Man, which remember at the time it was supposed to have Ant-Man, which I think would have been the connection to the Kang stuff. It was supposed to have Daredevil, and it was supposed to have Kingpin, I think. That there was a version of Spider-Man at one time. A lot of rumors came out about that. That was going to happen. But then when Kang Dynasty falls apart, I think they merge them. You know, they change it a lot. And so, yeah, I think there's some truth to what you're saying. Mill C says, I think Marvel leaked that clip on purpose. It doesn't show any of the surprises, and we already know Doom will control the Sentinels. Ooh, so you think it's real then, huh? Here's a question. Do you guys think that leak is real? Do you guys think it's real or no? Yes or no? What do you think, chat? That's an interesting take, though. 21 Seabass says, good morning, nerds. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Dolph Saber with a $20 holla. That's very generous, man. Thank you. Says, let's go, nerds. I bet my check on that Gaethje fight, and oh, man, did it pay off. Oh, nice. Yeah. I won about $700, $800. I put $200 on Justin. And I cashed out for like $920, so I guess $720. But yeah, that's all going right into Warhammer. Thanks, Justin. But yeah, let's get into this nerdy day. Also, today is my B-day, turned 26. Holy crap! Let's get some happy birthdays in the chat for Darth Saber, man. 26 years old, huh? Happy birthday to you, man. Happy birthday. Zach Tech, oh yeah, you said you met Tom Hiddleston. That's sick, dude. And then Jeremy, again, thank you for the kind words on your $10 holla. Appreciate it. Oh, and by the way, chat, by the way, we are going to be doing another Warhammer Wednesday stream. This Wednesday, though, probably going to be pretty central on the game and the new points, because the new points for all the armies are supposed to come out Wednesday. So I'm actually pretty excited. We'll have a regular stream. We'll have a lot to do. And then at 7:30, we'll sit down. We'll look at all the points. I'll build multiple versions of armies with you guys. And if you're into the game or you're curious about the game, this will help you kind of learn what that's all about. Probably no lore this week. I usually like to do lore, and then I like to do the game. But this Wednesday is probably just the game. So look out for that on Wednesday, because everybody loves Warhammer. And we're getting into Warhammer. Aren't we, chat? Right, chat? Jeremy, brother, thank you. Welcome back to the Nerd Avengers, my friend. Big Booty Burger says, will Steve Rogers interact with John Walker? I'm not sure, but I like your name. I will not be here on Wednesday. What? Why not? What's a Warhammer? What? Will there be Warhammer emojis for the stream? You got to ask Adam. I hope Steve punches John Walker. Why would he punch John Walker? Does he even know John Walker? Now we went Steve Rogers just punching people in the dome piece for no fucking reason. War Heather. Hey, Helix, you watch your ass. I'm just kidding, but seriously, watch your ass. Yo, one more ADD thing before we get going, because I gotta do it. It's just how my brain works. Sat down and played Halo 3 this weekend, man. I was actually trying. I did that beta test for that Warhammer game. I couldn't even get into a fucking match, dude. I was so mad. So instead, I wanted to get some gaming on, bro. I re-downloaded the Master Chief Collection on my Series X. And I played some Halo 3. Oh my God, I still got it, bro. I still got it. Took me a while, The first game was rough, but then I started to feel it, man. Placing those offhanded grenades, those perfect situations, leaping through the air, nailing your headshots with your battle rifle, My God. So I might do more of that this week. It was fun, man. It was fun. Halo's great. Where can you play Halo 3 right now? Yeah, it would be the Master Chief Collection. And the multiplayer, dude, there's plenty of people playing Halo 3 probably right now, but I mean, over the weekend for sure. Series X, what is that? It's the Xbox, bro. Maddie V says, speaking of hammers, dude, trust me when I say you need to watch The Furious in theaters. Best fighting movie of all time. Insane choreography. Oh, yeah? Who stars in that? You like Space Marine 2? I do like Space Marine 2, yeah. But I play on PC. I normally do too, but I wanted to try out the Series X, and I wanted to get out of the office a little too. So. Pete, my comment about the Sadie thing. Why don't you just put it back in the chat, brother? Just put it back in the chat. Sent link here on chat. For what, brother? Oh, for the video from the Instagram thing? Nah, I'm not going to watch that, man. I appreciate it, but I'm not going to watch that shit. You're on PC right now. Why would you need an Xbox? Well, I have 2 Xboxes, actually. Thank you very much. And actually, I found out you can only have one of your Xboxes playing Game Pass at one time. So my son was upstairs playing Stardew Valley when I first went to play Halo Master Chief Collection. And I came upstairs, I knocked the controller out of his hands. I shut off the Xbox and I said, Dad's playing Halo! No, I waited until his bitch ass was done for like an hour more, and then I fucking played Halo because I'm a good dad, but whatever. Five Fire says, keep being awesome. Love the live streams and videos. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Also too, man, I'm really dragging this out, but look, I just got shit to say. Okay. Halo 3 was really, really fun. They actually changed in the Master Chief Collection that you now earn points as you play and you win games and stuff, and you can unlock armor. I was like, this is really cool, man. Please watch the trailer for Furious, please. No, maybe later in the stream, but not right now. Not right now. I just learned that BS Game Pass info, bro. I know. I was like, what do you mean? Why did I even tell you that these Xboxes are in the same house? Well, I guess they would have been connected to the same account either way. But do you play any 2K or Madden? No, I'm not good at those games, man. Though I think I was like okay at Madden for like a second, but honestly, no. Sports games really aren't my thing. Yeah, sure. All right, guys, let's get into some shit, okay? It's not that I don't want to watch all the videos that you guys want to watch and like give you the proverbial remote for Josh and turn into like a robot and shut up and dribble and do everything you guys want to do. That's not what I'm trying to say. Like, I love doing that, but also we're on a schedule. We got shit to do. Okay, so let me just do my thing, and then maybe we'll watch all the fucking videos you guys want to watch. I should probably be nicer, huh? I should probably be nicer about it. I'll say I'm sorry, but I'll keep this tone. Otherwise, I feel like I'm losing the fight. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, guys. I guess I was an asshole again. Okay. Sorry. Hey, yo, chat. Hey, yo, question. Did you guys see that Daniel bitch-ass RPK? That's his real legal name, by the way. Finally admitted that Sadie Sink is Jean Grey. Did you guys see it? Did you see it? It's incredible. It's so incredible. I posted this tweet about it. And it's worth taking another victory lap. A small victory lap here when it comes to Jean Grey, Sadie Sink, and all that stuff. Because, you know... Look, man, I hate to toot my own horn. I love it. But toot fucking toot, man, because I got this shit outside of the cabal of leakers and scoopers. I was able to confirm this despite leakers and scoopers like Daniel telling me I was crazy and I was wrong about it. And so it's worth like thinking about this, talking about it a little bit, and also just admitting that, yeah, I was right. And she's definitely Sadie Sink. So real talk, this did actually come from Daniel RPK's Patreon, or Discord rather. Let me pull up the official thing just to put it on the screen so everybody knows what I'm talking about here. Let me find it. It'll only take a second. Where? What the fuck? Why is it not on? Why is it not the first thing on here? Okay, here it is. 2 hours ago. 2 hours ago. Oh, you said it on Twitter, huh? Okay. Boom. There it is. Daniel RPK. I can confirm that Sadie Sink is playing Jean Grey. 100%. Thank you, Daniel, for finally confirming it. So what happened? And it's worth like going over this again. And we're actually going to end today's stream talking about how I think she's not only Jean Grey, obviously, but potentially they're playing around with some Dark Phoenix stuff, and they're laying seeds for what they want to do with Dark Phoenix in the X-Men saga. So I'll explain all of that at another portion. If you're watching this on the Clips channel, check that clip out. But here's the deal. So this did all kind of kick off when you had Jeff Snyder very early on talk about Sadie Sink being Jean Grey as a rumor. And, Jeff would go on to actually say other people would be potentially Jean Grey. He connected other actresses to the role of Jean Grey for the new X-Men reboot. He also gave other roles to Sadie Sink, saying some like really wild shit. I forget all the things that he said, but he abandoned his perceived rumor that she would be Jean Grey. Now, here's the deal. When I first heard Jeff say that she was potentially going to be Jean Grey, and then it was, I think, a couple of weeks later, or maybe a month later, you had one of the Hollywood trades, I believe Deadline, confirm. I got to stop this GIF. You guys are going to go crazy if I just leave this going on the whole time. But, in fact, maybe I should get like an image of Jean Grey. Fuck it. We'll just do it live. Fucking thing sucks. Okay, anyway, the point is this. When Jeff initially said that, and then the trade said that she would be in Spider-Man Brand New Day a couple of weeks later, I just automatically assumed, oh shit, like they're putting Jean Grey into this movie. There was also another weird thing that happened that made me actually feel like this could be real as well. I forget who the actor's name was. I think it was the actor that did that creepy submissive domination movie with Nicole Kidman. I forget what it was called, but I'm pretty sure it was that guy. Harris Dickinson, maybe is his name. This guy was one of the other people that Jeff Snyder reported as being in the conversation for the new X-Men in the role of Scotty Summers. Jeff actually had talked a lot about little rumors and things of that nature, and other people were talking about it as well. There was even some young girl, maybe last name Butters, that might have been Kitty Pryde, all of these different things, okay, at the time. Well, after this report comes out from the Hollywood trades that Sadie Sink would be in Spider-Man Brand New Day, and that report was interesting because they were like, dude, it's not a small role. Huge role for her. She's second billing. She's right behind Tom, I make a bajillion fucking dollars every movie, Holland, right? So it was really, really interesting. But then I think a week later, Daniel reported that there was a rumor that Harris Dickinson would also be in Spider-Man Brand New Day. To this day, I don't know that Daniel has ever said where that rumor went. Did it ever materialize into anything? Was it dropped off? But it's part of the reason why I think Scotty Summers could actually be in your Spider-Man Brand New Day still to this day. So I was kind of like, okay, there's some smoke here with Jean Grey. What could it be? Now, remember, at the time, I talked to My Time to Shine Hello about this behind the scenes. I talked to other scoopers about this behind the scenes. I forget who the other scooper was that I talked to. It might have been Daniel, actually. I don't remember when I said, Daniel, fuck you, I don't want to talk to you anymore. So it might have been Daniel at that time, actually. And they all said no. They were like, no, you're wrong about this. She's not Jean Grey. It's not Jean Grey. And in fact, something really weird happened with Shine specifically, where Shine told me that the character had the powers of the multiverse, or was the embodiment of the multiverse. And something really weird happened where I actually misremembered a character from Jonathan Hickman's Time Runs Out stuff. And the character that I thought I was thinking about was Abyss. And in my mind, I remember that there was a character that was the embodiment of the multiverse and was getting sick as the multiverse was dying. And I remembered this part where Shang-Chi told this character, or taught this character how to meditate, and then it was revealed that, like, oh shit, this is an aspect of the universe. And it was something that the Avengers were able to use to gain an understanding of what was going on with the collapse of the multiverse, okay? And so I was talking to Shine about this, and I misremembered saying that the character was Abyss. Dude, she confirmed it was Abyss. She did. She confirmed that it was Abyss to me. But the thing is that it's not Abyss, obviously, and it could never have been Abyss because I literally fucking misremembered the character. It was actually Captain Universe. It was the female Captain Universe that hung out with the Avengers. That's who I was actually thinking about. So what I'm suggesting to you is, I think Shine might have known the whole time. I think Shine works for Marvel. I think Shine lied to me on purpose and then lied to me about confirming that it was Abyss just to try to get me to commit to that. And yet I still figured out all this shit on my own because it just never sat right with me, okay? I was like, nah, I don't know about that shit. Then all the Shakira rumors started, right? All the stuff with her being a wasp being and connected to Shathara and all of this stuff. And then there were all these little reports of Shathara and how that was, you know, how all of these leaks were making sense through Shathara. And I just never believed that. I just never believed it. I thought it was so stupid. Like, why would they get Sadie Sink, one of the hottest actresses in Hollywood, off of the hottest show right now in Stranger Things before they fucked it up, and put her in as some ugly ass wasp character bullshit? Like, I was like, that's stupid. Okay. Then the trades reported that she would also be in Secret Wars. And I was like, okay, so this Shakira Shathra bullshit wasp character is also going to be in Secret Wars, okay? Then, I think it was Matthew Bellamy revealed that Kevin Feige has done nothing over the past year and a half but work on Doomsday, and then one other thing he did was be involved in the casting of Sadie Sink. And I'm like, oh, okay, so fucking Kevin Feige's locked in a dungeon working on Doomsday, but he's going to come out of the dungeon to go cast Shakira, the stupid spider monster bullshit thing? I was like, this is so stupid. So, to me, more and more shit started piling up that she was Jean Grey. Now, I did get this confirmed by somebody connected to the film. That's probably all I can say about it because I got to protect my sources. But yes, people that were connected to the film did tell Josh from Den of Nerds what was going on the set. And one of the things that happened was they were even lying to the people that were working on the movie. And in fact, if anybody on the set potentially brought up, hey, this character is like a lot like Jean Grey, they were probably given this. And Kevin came over and was like, shh, shut your mouth. Don't ever say that fucking name ever again in front of me. You know what I mean? Like that kind of level of shit. And so I started to kind of just put together, based on the people that I knew that were working on the movie, based on all the stuff that was happening outside of that, and based on all the stuff that I thought was going on with the scoopers and the insiders and everything, I basically put my foot down. I wish I could find the exact day. There was a day I tweeted out, Sadie Sink is absolutely playing Jean Grey, and all the scoopers that say she isn't are wrong. And I even had some of those scoopers, man, some of those people in the scooping cabal, even that day, comment on my shit, retweet my shit, tell me I was wrong. And I was just like, I knew I was right at that point. And I was like, yeah, all of you will just wait and see. So that's kind of how it happened, and partially I'm trying to reveal to you how scummy My Time to Shine Hello is, and how scummy the leakers and scoopers are, because they're either useful idiots or they're actually in on it, trying to throw us off the scent. Which, by the way, is another reason why I still believe you could get Dark Avengers in Doomsday. I still believe you'll see Robert Downey Jr.'s face in Doomsday. I still believe that Doom Stark is a thing, and that my theory about the retcon is absolutely real, because all those same buttholes try to tell me I was wrong about that shit too. And remember when Alex Perez tried to play that little word game trying to disprove it by bringing up Chris Evans playing Johnny Storm and Steve Rogers, despite knowing that there's actually something to that will be explored in these movies? It's just all coming up Millhouse, motherfuckers. Like, it's easy to see what's happened. Now, what does this mean for Jean Grey specifically? Because I saw some people on Twitter that finally, after Daniel said it was real, were able to accept this as reality. And there's a lot of questions. What do you mean this is Jean Grey? We don't have any fucking X-Men at all, and all of a sudden we've got Jean Grey. It's a Sony movie. You already have the Hulk. You already have Punisher. You have all these things in it. What do you mean you're going to do Jean Grey in a Spider-Man movie or whatever, right? It seems odd. I would argue that was done on purpose. I would argue that was done to make it hard to believe that she actually would be cast as Jean Grey. Again, we'll talk more later about why thematically this makes sense, with like Peter turning into a monster, Hulk turning into a monster, Phoenix turning into a monster, or Jean turning into the Phoenix and then therefore turning into a monster. So we'll talk about that more later. But here's the main explanation for it, the TLDR of how this is going to work. I believe this will be a version of Jean that is either from the Prime universe, which I highly doubt, or she's just the 616 Jean Grey that now exists in a timeline where her mutation was delayed. Whatever was the event that normally in the universe would cause the X gene to activate was delayed, probably on purpose by He Who Remains. That is a potential explanation for why we don't have any mutants in the Infinity Saga whatsoever. And then all of a sudden, after Endgame, they all start popping up. Remember, we get the Miss Marvel thing. We get Namor revealed to be a mutant. I think there were others too. And this all starts to happen like after the snap and the blip and all that, which I think will be the reason as to why the X gene is manifesting in all of these people. So basically, this is a Jean Grey that did not get visited by Magneto and Charles Xavier as a child. She did not get brought to Charles' school. She was not mentored by Charles. She did not have the mental blocks put into her mind by Charles. And so she's kind of out on her own. I think her powers are emergent. I think she has no control, no schooling, and doesn't have like all of the things that you would expect like from a regular Jean Grey. And yes, that is weird. However, it's possible that she also has some memories of her real life or of other versions of herself from throughout the multiverse. Because I think even though Shine is super shady and tried to throw me off the scent and certainly cannot be trusted, I don't think she was lying about the multiversal bit. I do think that this version of Jean Grey is the multiversal connection that this movie needs to properly set it up as a precursor to Doomsday and as its next chapter being Secret Wars. Because remember, Sadie Sink's Jean Grey is a massive part of Secret Wars. She is a huge part of Secret Wars. And my theory on this has always been that it'll probably be the case that she will be essential to helping the people on Battleworld remember their old lives. And the interesting connection here, of course, is that Peter experienced a spell where Doctor Strange cast a spell to make everybody in the multiverse forget who Peter Parker is. Well, that's actually quite similar to using a spell to get everybody to forget their past lives, right? And that's likely what Doom will do when he sets up Battleworld. So you can see there's an actual parallel here between Peter forgetting things and maybe Jean Grey being able to help him or at least understand it, right? Because she doesn't know who Peter Parker is, but she can read his mind and therefore she knows who Peter Parker is. So maybe there's a connection between that spell and Peter and Doom's spell and Peter and Jean and how Jean will fit into all of that, right? So pretty cool. We'll talk more about that in the future. But the last thing I want to say about this before we get into the other stuff is that, yeah, man, I'm gloating a little bit because I got this one right. I think it's a pretty big deal. Nobody else had this when I had this. Technically, Gary says he had it, but he was supposed to wait a couple of weeks and he ended up confirming my scoop instead because he considered it to already be out there, right? So technically, Gary might have actually got this around the same time, which is kind of interesting. Nerd erotic Gary. But here's the other thing that you need to keep in mind. This would suggest that Marvel has become incredibly sophisticated at hiding these leaks. And I think that's awesome because for so long, it was like really fucking easy, frankly, for me to figure out what was in these movies. And now it's a little bit more difficult. Now, you might say, but why does that matter? You still figured it out anyway. Yeah, that's true. But the way that I figured it out was like borderline actual journalism, and very difficult to do. And I respect the effort and the complexity of how Marvel tried to hide it. And as I've been suggesting in some other videos and clips and stuff, they're going to get better. So it'll get even harder. and Avengers Doomsday has a lack of leaks as compared to a lot of other Marvel movies. I think Secret Wars will be the least leaked Marvel movie ever. And I think it'll be the hardest movie to figure out. It'll be the movie that keeps the most surprises. And Marvel is finally doing what they should have done years ago, which is instead of trying to like smash the leakers down, discredit them, sue Reddit to try to subpoena the IP addresses, all this bullshit. Instead of doing that, just tighten up your system. Plug the leaks. Figure it out. And they have done that. And that's really impressive. It also casts this little shadow of doubt on almost all the things that the insiders are reporting. Right? So a lot of them are saying, like, no, there's no Dark Avengers, or no, you won't see Doomsday's face, or like, there's nothing to the Doom Stark revealed in this movie. Man, I'm just going to tell you, like, if you received that information through normal channels that you were getting leaks and stuff for the past couple of years, I would question that information. That's what I did. I questioned that information. I went outside of every channel I had ever used before to find it. That might be what it takes, and maybe they'll close those up too, and then we'll actually have surprises again. So anyway, Sadie Sink, it's Jean Grey. I fucking told you. Chat, what do you think? Is it pretty crazy that I figured it out? Or am I just like trying to make it into this big thing and like it's like whatever? You let me know. Enough. Tighten up, bro. People are stealing. Yeah, but are they though? We're gonna talk about the leaks for Doomsday in just a second here, because I don't think so, man. In fact, man, I gotta tell you, here's the thing. If they did actually leak and hack Doomsday, then what I'm about to say in the next segment is going to piss them off so much that they'll probably feel inclined to prove that they've actually hacked Marvel, and therefore they will actually reveal some shit. And so I'm sorry, Kevin, but I'm going to talk some mad shit on these hackers, because I don't think y'all got it like that. I don't think you got it like that, pussies. Prove me wrong. You can have a different opinion, but don't dismiss others who believe something else. That must be in reference to somebody else, because like I'm fucking Himothy, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I know I shared some cool shit about humility and stuff on Instagram, but fuck that. I'm Himothy, and I'm also the most humble. The most. I am the best at being humble. There's a reason they haven't confirmed Sadie is playing Jean Grey yet, even though we've seen her in costume. She's not. Oh, man, that's awesome. Hey, do you guys remember when Alex Perez and Grace Randolph randomly decided to say that she's Typhoid Mary at the exact same fucking time? I wonder if that was organic. You know what I mean? I wonder if that was organic. We're getting Typhoid Mary in Secret Wars. Yeah, totally. Josh gaslighting the hackers so he doesn't have to see it in theaters. I mean, look, would I get mad about it? No. Shit. Hey, look, if there's one thing I'm really good at, and I think, you know, look, I'm being a little bit facetious, of course, and I'm bragging a little bit, but one thing I'm actually really good at that we can all admit I'm pretty good at is pissing people off. I don't know how. I've got an innate, it's like a psychic ability or something. I know exactly how to be like the biggest dick face possible. It's a serious talent. It's a serious talent. So, yeah, I might do that to these hackers in just a minute here. Why can't Jean get out of a glass cell? Well, there could be an inhibitor on her. There could be some electromagnetism, perhaps. Maybe everything on the floor is bolted down. I don't know. We're going to have to see. Pissing on people? No, not pissing on people. Pissing off people. Jeez. These leaks generated more hype than the clips from Avatar. These leaks generated more hype than the clips of Avatar. Wait, what you mean, dog? So is there still going to be a character who's the embodiment of the multiverse in Doomsday? It's a really cool concept. I think it is Sadie. I think it's Jean, but I could be wrong, I guess. Josh, I think that with Comic-Con before Brand New Day and a big part of the D23 event this week, after Brand New Day, do you think Marvel will officially announce her as a part of the X-Men movie and bring out the cast on stage? No, brother. No. We're ways away from that, because I think what they're building with her is like, it's kind of interesting. So when I say she's Phoenix, and we're going to talk about Dark Phoenix later too, bro, she's not going to be like, I'm actually Jean Grey, known as Phoenix. Here's my dope-ass X-Men powers that I've always had. Did you notice my dope-ass X-Men outfit? Like, shit ain't going to be like that. It's going to be more like, I don't know who I am. I have these powers. I'm just trying to live in the world and everybody wants to get me. Oh, well, the truth is you're actually Jean Grey. Shit kind of went awry. You know, you were supposed to beat this person, that person, etc., etc. Something like that. Sadie is Dazzler, possessed by Nightmare. Yeah, totally. That sounds completely reasonable. Do you think we could get 2 or 3 members of the new X-Men in Secret Wars then? It's possible. So Chad, the Geeky Cast, is claiming that there'll be a new Professor Xavier in Secret Wars. Really don't know about that shit, Chad. Maybe, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Dr. Doom says we're gonna have Doom variants. I hope. Well, you've already had a Doom variant for 10 plus years in the multiversal Illuminatis of the MCUs, and that's Tony Stark. Geeky has 0 sources, LMFAO. I actually don't know. I mean, he claims to have some new sources, so I guess we'll see. If in like 2 years' time we're like looking at a new Professor Xavier in Secret Wars, I'll remember. I will remember, and I will give credit to Geeky. The other thing he's saying is that he's absolutely certain Jameson Idris is Black Panther, and he'll be in Secret Wars too. So look, I'm just like, I'll be fair. Geeky, you tell me you got new sources. This shit's legit. I say, I'll give you a chance. You know, I'll give you a chance because we'll know soon enough. Sir, what is this Typhoid Mary I keep hearing about? Typhoid Mary is technically a mutant. She's mostly in the Daredevil comics, I believe. At least that's how I know her. Multiple personality, different kind of powers with her. Personality, a little bit like a soft version of Legion. But, yeah. But if he's wrong, what do you mean? I think Sadie is Rachel Summers. That's cool. Sadie is shown strapped to a chair wearing a green jumpsuit reminiscent of Nightmare's traditional green attire. Sits on a throne of the dream dimension. Yeah, that's cool. Josh celebrating Christmas in June with that shirt. Yeah, I don't know. I just was feeling it. You know, I was looking at all the nerdy shirts. I was trying to think about what to do. I figured if I put a Warhammer on, you guys would be buttholes about it. So, okay, let's end that segment, though. Let's end that segment. You know, enough of a victory lap. I was right. Everybody else was wrong. I took a shit for 2 years straight. Or, I mean, I took a lot of shit for 2 years straight. But I was right. Everybody else was wrong. All right, should we do a short? Let's do a short of that, okay? I believe Gene from the start. Thanks, man. By the way, I don't blame anybody for not believing. Like, that's fine. Like I said, it is, they made it that way. It's like intended to be hard to believe. Jordan says, I'm sold on Sadie being Jean, but why would Sony and Marvel not want to advertise that? Any insight? Yeah, so the idea, just like with Spider-Man No Way Home, because like, okay, that's actually a great fucking question, man. I'm going to do a whole another 20 minutes on this shit. No, I'll try not to, but Jordan, that's a good question. Let me just, because there's something here, man. There's something here. You ask, Jordan, why wouldn't they advertise it? It's a huge fucking deal. Well, I would argue, why didn't they advertise Toby and Andrew for Spider-Man No Way Home? Interesting question. Now, eventually remember that they did. They did. Not for a couple of weeks, but they did. But what did they advertise with Spider-Man No Way Home? Does anybody remember? What was in the official advertisements for Spider-Man No Way Home? Does anybody? The villains. This guy gets it. Yeah, so they tease the multiversal villains. And of course, the villains being there imply that maybe the other Spider Boys would be there. But they never advertised it. They never confirmed it until a couple of weeks in. So, as Jay says here, Jay All Day 4K says, that's a really fair comparison and you just blew my mind. You're welcome, Jay. I'll be here all day. And by all day, I mean about an hour more. So, if you think about that example with No Way Home, as Jay All Day 4K is admitting is a brilliant take of mine that's 100% correct, what you see is a sort of 1-2 punch. They have some real fire, some real power in the Spider Boys, but they keep that second punch cocked and loaded, and they just kind of jab us with the fun, exciting possibilities. And if you look at this new Spider-Man movie, you've got Punisher, you've got Hulk, and they are teasing some body-hopping villain that we can't see, you know, all the stuff that Tremel Tillman's talking about, right? So if you think about it, it's a similar strategy where they're going to tease you with some cool shit that's potentially connected to the possibility of Jean Grey, but they're never going to confirm it. But then after the movie comes out for a little bit, they will put it out there and be like, yo, just in case you didn't know, Jean Grey's in this, John, you know, and like, you got to go see this shit now. And so that will help it have legs. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the strategy. That's what they did before. So I would imagine they're doing it again. Where do you email me for the editing thing? thedenofnerds@gmail.com. thedenofnerds@gmail.com. And thank you. Okay. Should we do the short? Let's do the short. Oh boy, guess who was right about Sadie Sink as Jean Grey, and guess which of the pooper scoopers finally had to admit I was right. It is me and Daniel RPK. What am I talking about? Daniel RPK recently confirmed via Twitter that he knows that Sadie Sink is playing Jean Grey 100%. His words, 100%. He can confirm it 100%. Now, that's really nice because I confirmed it as 100% like over a year ago and nobody fucking believed me. Now, the thing about this, without getting too lost in the sauce here, because I've done a lot of videos and content about this, is it is worth mentioning that this secret is so closely guarded by Marvel Studios. They really didn't want this to come out. They went through extra lengths to hide this, and scoopers like Daniel RPK and My Time to Shine Hello told me to my face that I was wrong about her being Jean Grey and that she was somebody else, okay? And there's a lot of weird shadiness that makes me think that the scoopers might have been in on this, or at the very least, they were sort of useful idiots, and Marvel figured out a way, maybe Marvel and Sony, but they figured out a way to put fake information out there that throws everybody off the scent. So you'll recall that people thought she was maybe Rachel Summers. People thought she was Mayday Parker. And people even thought she was Gwen Stacy. And various people within the community, like a Christian Harloff, a John Roca, and others, actually came out and said that. Hell, I think even Jeff Snyder, who originally reported her as being rumored to be Jean Grey, reported her as being somebody else, Toby's daughter or something. Like, I don't know, it's super, super weird. The point I'm making is whether these people were in on it or just useful idiots, either way, Marvel has gotten incredibly sophisticated at hiding big reveals for their movies. I figured it out by going outside of all the leakers and scoopers and finding some people that worked on the movie. I'll never tell you who because Kevin will get really mad and probably fire them, but they worked on the movie, Kevin. You're never going to be able to find out who they are, and I'll always know all of your secrets. But I really appreciate you trying to hide the truth. So that's the TLDR on Sadie Sink being Jean Grey. Wow. So exciting. What do you think? Not bad? Not bad? Okay, let's get into the next one. Not bad, eh? Let me take a sip of coffee. Hang on. By the way, House of the Dragon this Sunday. I'm fucking excited, man. It's going to be a long 46 days. Amen, Jay. Amen. House of the Dragon this Sunday. I'm excited, man. I'm feeling the dragon energy. Are you guys feeling the dragon energy? I love dragons. I think dragons are so cool. Bro, move on. From what? We're in between segments. Move on from what, dog? Move on from my talking about House of the Dragon for like 3 fucking seconds? Sorry. Guess I'll shut up and dribble. Jesus. Hey, did you guys hear House of the Dragon's coming out this Saturday? Why don't you move the fuck on? We've had enough. The thing you just said for like 2 seconds, fuck you. Thanks, bud. Thanks a lot. Okay. Let's talk about Doomsday leaking. Man, I'm going to shit all over these hackers. I'm calling bullshit on these hackers, okay? Okay, we need to talk about hackers and quantum computers and Fable 5 getting shut down by the government because it hacked Sony and gave us all the trailers and all that shit. And like, I don't know what's really going on, but there's something going on. And as I've mentioned in, I think the previous segment where we discussed this, when we talked about the hacks for potentially Doomsday, you know, coming out, and then, of course, Spider-Man Brand New Day and the trailers and all of that, we talked about how these people, mostly anonymous scoopers, which they seem to be younger, a lot of them are Russian, these accounts are claiming that they've hacked Marvel and Sony. They have footage from Spider-Man Brand New Day. They have different trailers. They have all of X-Men 97 Season 2. They have Vision Quest. And they have a copy of Doomsday. That's what they said. That's what they said. That's what they claim to have, okay? And we discussed last week, we were like, wait a minute. Is this real? Like, could this be real? Could these hackers have actually gotten in there and taken all of this stuff from Marvel Studios? And if so, when's the watch party, baby? Because we ain't waiting for December no more. Now, thus far, none of it is officially leaked out except for one scene. Now, maybe you saw it. Okay, this was out there on the interwebs. I don't think it's real, but I'm also pretty scared after Kevin came to my house over the weekend. So I'm not going to put the images up on screen right now, but you've seen them. One of them are on the thumbnail. I put one on the thumbnail. Okay. It is a scene. I'll describe the scene. I'll describe the scene to you. Okay. It is apparently a circling heroic shot, much like the shot in Avengers 1, which I think is still one of the most iconic, dopest shots ever put to film. My God, that shit rocked. But it's that shot where they're all together, fighting together, and then they do the pose, and it's just, you know, it's super badass, okay? And it's a scene where maybe Doctor Doom is getting control of the Sentinels. So it's hard to see because it's like in 180p. It's like terrible fucking quality, okay? But it appears to show Doom. There's a close-up of his face, which his eyes are not right, from what I understand of what the mask actually looks like. His eyes are not right. And it's a scene where you've got the Avengers, but it's like Pedro, the Avengers, some of the X-Men, and they do that hero shot, and you hear the song where it's like, dun, 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 you know, that shit. And they're all together, and they're going to fight against Doom and all of the Sentinels. All right? So this thing came out, and a lot of people said it was real. Some people said it wasn't real. I would like to pause for a second. Do you guys think it's real? Real quick, chat. Do you guys think it's real or nah? Is it yeah or nah? The account that posted it got banned, so that's a good sign that it's real. That account disappeared. I don't know that it got banned, actually. In fact, I think they put it out and banned their own account or did something to ban their account, flagging it with other accounts to make it look like it was real. What? That's fucking crazy, Josh. You're a crazy person. Well, just wait, because I have more to say. Look, a lot of you think it's real. Wow, that's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. So I don't think it's real, actually. I don't think it's real. And one of the reasons why is because it doesn't match up with anything we know about the leaks. Now, it is true that Doctor Doom is said to take control of the Sentinels. It is possible that when they go into the X-Men universe, he does end up taking control of the Sentinels. But here's the thing. At this point in the movie, from what I understand, they subdue the X-Men universe, meaning probably take out some of its harsher defenders and then levy with them. Because remember, there's apparently some plan concocted by Dr. Doom and Reed Richards in which they will put devices on all of the 3 remaining Earths. That would be the X-Men universe, the Fantastic Four universe, and the 616 universe, our Avengers universe, if you will. And there's something about this plan and the technology, and it's going to keep the incursions from happening. But then, no, something happens, and all planets are going to collide, and we get an incursion with these last 3 planets. At no point in the leaks does it say that everybody then figures out that Doom is bad, and he turns on everybody with the Sentinels. Now, could it be? Yes, because as I've explained, they're putting stuff into the reshoots. A lot of the stuff that came out through traditional channels is at least suspect and possibly a straight up lie. So technically, it's possible that what we heard before was not true. This scene is real, and it's fitting into the movie in a way that is not clear to us right now, but will make sense when we see the final product. But I also just have to say that as you look at this and you look at all the other leaks and try to find a way that it connects, it just doesn't. It just doesn't connect. Another reason that it's probably not real is a lot of the accounts that are posting it are not being taken down. Now, as somebody just pointed out, the original account did get taken down, but I would argue that's a fugazi. That's probably a self-takedown in order to make it look more legit. So, what do I actually think is going on? Now, let's state the, I guess, conventional explanation and what everybody thinks is going on. The conventional explanation is that these hackers did hack Sony and Marvel. They are chopping this stuff up. They are posting it in really bad quality. They're trying to do everything they can to avoid copyright. And they absolutely are keeping the pressure up on Marvel. They have this info. They might be trying to negotiate. They might be trying to make some money off it, etc., etc. Okay? That, I think, is the official story. However, when you think about what would motivate a person to even do this, and why would these people be angry in the first place? Well, I think it's because they got a lot of clicks and a lot of views during the time when the Doomsday marketing was kicking off with those trailers and all those leaks. And I'm telling you, it's like a lot of these same people, they all get into these little Telegraph groups or whatever, and they're all like, hey, here's all the secret info, and it's the same shit. So they were getting clout when that shit was leaking and popping off. And as you've maybe noticed, it's gotten a lot more dry when it comes to Doomsday. A lot less is leaking out. They're being more secretive, which, as I explained, I actually expect even less and less to leak out as we go along, okay? But on top of that, they did that whole trailer and never released it online. And remember, these people got so mad about it. Why did they get mad about it? Because they wanted it to leak like the other ones. And they wanted all that clout and all that internet fame that they had before, okay? And so if Marvel's not actually going to play ball and not going to leak things in a consistent way that these people can like get AdSense revenue or Twitter money off of in a consistent basis, well, what would you do? What would you do? Would you maybe create fake leaks and fake controversies? And would you maybe lie about having hacked Marvel in order to create a narrative and in order to create attention so that you could get some of that clout and attention that you are so desperate for? That's what I think is going on. So I'm calling out these people, man. I don't think y'all hacked shit. Okay? I don't think you have anything real other than shit that I had maybe 6 to 9 months ago. Okay? So I don't think y'all have nothing going on. I think you're desperate for clicks. I think you're desperate for clout. And you're signaling this big thing where you're in control. You've done all this shit to Marvel. And yet you're posting like 180p bullshit AI products. I think 0% of that narrative is true. And if you're one of those people and there is truth to the narrative and you're getting really pissed because I think you're full of shit, prove me wrong. Leak the whole fucking thing. Prove me wrong. Leak the whole thing. Leak something. Leak something other than this 180p bullshit thing that I'm fairly confident is not fucking real. Okay? So that's what I think is going on with these leaks. And I wonder if you understand that. I wonder if you know where I'm going with that, why I believe what I believe. But I'd love to know what you guys think. Do you think it's actually real? Do you think these people are actually hacking them? I don't think so at all, man. I think it's the same group of people because their energy feels similar. It's very like pick me. It's very like I have this access to behind the scenes Marvel info, so therefore I should get all this clout and clicks on social media. Nah, dog. Like that's some weak ass shit. Like it's just that's not what it is. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I think's going on. Josh, if you think they are lying, then you must think the Spider-Man leak is fake too, right? Well, be more specific. Which Spider-Man leak, brother? Because it's possible that just like the other Spider-Man trailer, it's actually leaking, and there are multiple channels by which it could actually leak, but maybe then a bunch of people aggregated it to make it look as though they had all the information. That is what I think is going on. It's obviously the case that the Spider-Man leaks are real. And remember, too, a lot of those trailers leaked from Marvel. You know, those Doomsday trailers, they basically all leaked about a week early. All of them. So what that suggests is there are certainly leaks within the system, the distribution. Right? So, like, don't be so stupid where you're like, oh, so that's not real, so nothing's real. Like, nah, bro, that ain't it. Star Wars never leaked this much. Well, you know, Star Wars does generally have less leaks than Marvel. Do you know why? Does anybody know why? I've talked about this before, but do you know why? It's not necessarily a good thing. But how'd they get the Spider-Man ones? Well, probably came through translations in foreign markets. Probably came through testing where they did tests to see how people would feel about the trailers. Probably a lot of different places. No one cares. That's true for today, but it wasn't always the case over the past 5 years. The reason is because Marvel does a lot more testing. And if you think about the Marvel formula, right? They remake the movie. So there's just like almost 2 movies worth of production where things can leak. And on top of that, because they test them so thoroughly, there are so many people that see Marvel movies way before they're released. Star Wars does less test screening, which frankly, like they probably should do more test screenings. They probably should have tested Mando Grogu more and realized nobody fucking cares. But yeah, that's kind of why. Yes. So yeah, I hope you understand what I'm saying, man. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Like, I really don't think that they've got it like that. I just don't. Like $700 or whatever it was for the whole movie or whatever. Like, get the fuck out of here. If you have the real movie, it's $7,000 minimum. You know what I mean? So yeah, the whole thing just feels like it's like, have you all seen The Big Lebowski? I feel like the homie in The Big Lebowski that's like, but a bunch of fucking amateurs, you know what I mean? Because that's what I think it is. It was cool to watch, but yeah, yes, $500 indeed. How many times did you watch The Last Jedi? I couldn't tell you, brother. That feels like a random question to me. If you look closely at the Doomsday leak, it has the words light and magic. The clip probably came from Industrial Light and Magic. No, it fucking didn't, dude. It came from AI. Yeah, like at least give us an official screenshot if it's real. I don't believe them either. Yeah, I don't believe them at all. I don't believe them at all. And then you're telling me the original account that pushed it got banned, but no other accounts are getting banned for sharing it? Yeah, dude, that's not how that works. Motherfucker, I got a DCMA strike recently. They're not playing around. So if that shit was real, it'd be getting hit. At least I think so. Yeah. How much would I charge if I had the movie? Well, I actually wouldn't put it on sale or charge anything for it, but I would certainly watch it, and then I'd probably make a video where I said, like, hey, I actually watched this fucking leak, dude, and I didn't sign no NDA. I didn't hear no bell. I'm about to tell you a lot of shit about the movie, but be warned, this is legit spoilers. You know what I mean? I'd probably do something like that, but... Marvel is using that for the hype? What do you mean? Mando is better than The Last Jedi and you won't watch it? That's crazy. It is crazy. Imagine how much brand damage would have to be done to Star Wars to get somebody that loved it to like not even watch the latest movie. I mean, I haven't watched Maul. I haven't watched Andor season 2, 0%. Yeah, I'm not feeling it, dog. And you're right. That is crazy. It's crazy how the mighty have fallen. But wouldn't Marvel, like, don't make it look like it's real and ban all of these accounts? Well, then why'd the first one go down? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. Now, you're technically right because that's what they did in December of last year. Like, a whole bunch of shit came out and they acted like they had no idea. But in this exact example, I think they would be more than willing to issue some copyright stuff because these kids and these annoying accounts are being real buttholes about it. You know what I mean? So. All right, is that good enough? Does that explain it? Should I do a short for that one? Maybe I'll do a short real quick. Okay, TLDR on the Russian hackers that hacked Kevin Feige's meme folder. You know what that means. Look, there's a leak going out there, a scene from Avengers Doomsday. It shows the Sentinels, it shows Doctor Doom, it shows Doctor Doom using the Sentinels, and then the Avengers, the X-Men, and Pedro Pascal's terrible ass Reed Richards and the Fantastic Four all working together, and it has like the shot of them all heroic, like the first Avengers, dun, 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 and then they're all gonna fight Doctor Doom. Okay, it's in incredibly pixelated quality. It looks like shit, but a lot of people thought it was real. Okay, I don't think it's real. And I know right now there are a bunch of hackers or people that claim to be hackers that have claimed to hack Marvel. They've got all this information, you know, they got all this stuff, and they're going to start revealing it online, and they're selling it on the black market and all this other shit. And I got to tell you guys, I think that's bullshit. I don't think they have nothing, dude, because I think this was fake. And I think these are honestly just a bunch of accounts that got in a couple of group chats where actual Russian hackers handed them maybe some real leaks or things that were aggregated together, and then they disseminated them, and they got a bunch of clicks and a bunch of clout around December when all the Doomsday trailers were leaking. And now Marvel's figured out how to tighten up a lot of those leaks, and these people are not getting the same clicks and the same clout, and they're all butthurt about it. So I think they created a fake narrative about hacking Doomsday. They're releasing all this stuff. I think it's all fake, and it's being done to generate clicks, to get hypes, and I hope that if it is real and you actually did hack Doomsday, that me accusing you of being a pussy will piss you off so much that you actually just release the whole movie. Come on, man, I really want to see that shit. Short number 2. Down. Yo, when they all gathered around being surrounded by the Sentinels. Oh, yeah, dude. That shit was so cool. That shit was so cool, dude. I can't believe how cool it was. Do you think there will be a wait line for Spider-Man pre-sale tickets on Wednesday? Depending on your market, yeah. Yeah, I think so. Dude, I noticed after your Star Wars scoop about Anakin coming back and Prime Leia Luke, literally everyone started reporting it. Maybe Disney hates you because they can't corrupt you. Yeah, no, I mean, that's probably a part of it, and fuck them. Josh, I thought you liked Pedro as Reed. Pedro as Reed was way more impressive than I thought it would be in the Fantastic Four movie, but fuck that. That here scene was too reminiscent of the hero panning scene from Avengers 1. Yeah, that's another reason to maybe not believe it, sure. Okay, yeah. Can we talk about X-Men 97? Josh's computer is going to randomly catch on fire in the middle of taunting the hackers. Wouldn't that be something? What if they leak my nudes? What if they leak my nudes and then my massive penis is out there? Fuck, what will I do? Shit. Hope they don't hack away and release all the pictures of my fucking dope ass glory. Anyway, I do wish they would have gone with Krasinski. Well, they did, but yeah, then they didn't. So I guess I see what you're saying. Yeah. They would only need a few pixels. Hey, fuck are you, James? X-Men 97 Season 2 connection to Doomsday. What do you guys think? No, I don't think so. But that's actually a great question to segue. So, X-Men 97 Season 2. It comes out July 1st, right around the corner. And look, there's a lot that we could get into with regards to this. New reviews, man. People have seen it, and the reviews have been posted, and they're incredibly positive. It's very close to 100%. I think it's like a 99 or 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. And we're going to go look at the Rotten Tomatoes, and we're actually going to look at some of these reviews because it's crazy. But a little bit of context for you. Of course, I'm pretty sure we all recognize the genius of X-Men 97 Season 1. I'm pretty sure we all understand that. But if you don't, or maybe you didn't watch it or whatever, let me just tell you that things at the time were a little rough for Marvel. And it was, well, I mean, it was just a rough time as a fan. There's a lot of L's, a lot of stupid movies, a lot of stupid shows, a lot of loss of faith and confidence that the studio was able to make content that the fans would actually be able to connect with. And then along came X-Men 97. And man, I think a lot of us literally took the attitude. I mean, I know I literally took this attitude of, if they fuck up the 90s X-Men show on top of all of these other things that they are fucking up, I might be out. Like, I might have to get into Warhammer and start a Warhammer channel and just get my whole Marvel community to slowly be converted into Warhammer, right? Because I was just like, holy shit, dude. The 90s X-Men show means something to me. I think it means something to a lot of you. It was seminal. It's something that got a lot of us into Marvel. It got us to explore all the different fun things within Marvel Comics. Holy shit, dude. I just remember being I was fucking mad. I was like mad before the show even came out. Like, I was like fucking mad. And then Bo DeMeo gets fired the day before the release, and that's weird, you know? And there's still a lot to be maybe discovered or understood about what that whole situation exactly was. But I remember at the time being like, okay, we got this Jonathan Majors thing going on. You know, doesn't seem like a great look. We've got the new X-Men show. I'm really going to be mad if y'all fuck it up. Oh, you fired the showrunner the day before the shit came out. Well, here we go again, is what it felt like. And then all of a sudden, the show's fucking straight gas, baby. It was fire. It was, frankly, one of the best things Marvel's ever created. It eclipses even the old show. Incredible writing, incredible action, good animation. What the fuck? It was bizarre how good it was. I remember I made a video saying that it was greater than Invincible, the current season of Invincible, and then the Invincible, the actual fucking Invincible account, took the thumbnail of my fucking video, tweeted out to 40,000 likes, millions of views, didn't tag me, and just tried to make me look like an asshole. Well, guess what, Invincible? Your show sucks ballsack, JPEG Invincible horseshit through and fucking through. X-Men 97 was better than your ass. I imagine it's still going to be better than your ass. Fuck you, Invincible social media account. But I was right, of course. It was better than that season of Invincible. It was fucking mind-blowing. And I remember, I think it was after episode 5, Bo DeMeo came back to social media, and you could see why. You know? Because, again, we don't know exactly what happened with that situation, but my attitude changed from, this is really concerning, this guy might have been very problematic, to, yeah, how big of a deal was it? We could probably pay for, you know, some of the therapies, and, like, brother, like, you know, like, this shit is so hot right now. Do a Joss Whedon. Bring him back, make him a ghostwriter, keep him behind the scenes, you know, lock him in a dungeon if you have to so he doesn't, whatever. But this shit is so hot, you know? Like, it was that good. I was willing to bend my fucking morals because I was that desperate for good X-Men content. Holy shit, was it good. Okay? So that's X-Men 97 Season 1. But of course, its success and the heights that it reached as being Marvel Entertainment are only matched with the level of concern that we had because Bo was no longer involved. And it's just pretty fucking obvious that he's a huge part of why that show was successful. So, as we looked forward to season 2, I think there was just a bunch of concern in the fandom that the shit would be ass, that we lost out again, that we had something great and we lost it. There were also a lot of questions as to how much of the material that Bo left behind would actually be adapted, right? Well, season 2 has been seen by many of folks, and the consensus right now is that this shit is fire, that they basically picked it up right where it left off, and it is absolutely fucking amazing. So let's refresh this right now. You are looking at a 99% on the tomato meter, okay? And then when you click it to just top critics, it's 100%. Okay, when you're in all critics, you have 88 fresh, 1 rotten. Who is this motherfucker that gave it a rotten review, man? Was it like Bo DeMeo that signed in on a sock puppet account or something like that? I'm not really sure. 91% on the audience, but that doesn't make any sense. That's probably season 1, okay? That's very, very impressive. Now, let's actually go through some of the reviews so that we can get a really good look at what people are saying about X-Men 97 Season 2. So, here we go. Polygon's Jake Kleinman gave it a 10 out of 10. I'll cut right to the chase. X-Men 97 Season 2 is just as good, if not better, than anything I've seen before. What? Holy shit. That's amazing. Based on the first 4 episodes provided to the critics. Oh, that's also important. They've only seen 4 episodes. Okay, that's good enough. The show's second season more than meets the challenge teased in season 1's cliffhanger ending, while setting up even more complex and rewarding narrative with plenty of momentum to carry the show through its season 2 finale and beyond. I mean, hot damn. That's some high praise right there. TV Line's Andy Swift gives it an A. Not an A+? Fuck you, Andy. On par with the quality of its first season, X-Men 97 returns with an emotional, action-packed exploration of an iconic Marvel villain, weaving high-stakes drama and countless characters from multiple timelines into an epic story that will leave casual viewers enthralled and comic book diehards satisfied. Hot damn! You brought it on this one, Andy! Should have gave it an A+, but I'll forgive you because that's a really nice review. IGN's Jesse Sheeden. 9 out of 10. I thought all they did was 7 out of 10s over there. The wait may have been painful, but X-Men 97 has no trouble justifying its prolonged absence. Season 2 is off to a terrific start in its first 4 episodes. The series definitely continues from season 1's dramatic cliffhanger, building compelling new storylines spread across 3 distinct points in time. Not every character is given full room to shine yet, but that's to be expected in such a jam-packed superhero ensemble. The series continues to be both a love letter to a particular era of the X-Men franchise and a source of deep, enjoyable character drama that can appeal to Marvel fans of all stripes. Hot damn! Woo! Okay, CBR's Nicholas Brooks gives it a 9 out of 10 as well. That darker tone doesn't hurt X-Men 97 Season 2, but it's something to take into account as this season feels like it's getting ready to cap off a major narrative and no one is ready. All in all, X-Men 97 Season 2 is another win for Marvel Animation, and fans of Season 1 will be even more impressed with everything Season 2 is setting up. Whoa, okay, awesome. Movie phone Jamie Philbrook gives it a 90 out of 100. X-Men 97 continues to deliver the fun action and colorful style of the original 90s series while leaving time for complex storylines and deep character exploration. Season 2's time travel adventure is classic weird X-Men fun and features a roster of Marvel's best mutant characters. You'll love to see it. By the way, I know a lot of shit about X-Men 97 Season 2. I'll leave it at that. I can't say more. It's gonna be good, though. Fandom Wire gives it a 9 out of 10. Says X-Men 97 Season 2 is off to a fantastic start with all lovable characters, epic action, and shockingly deeply emotions that made the first season great, mixed in with a heavy dose of experimental sci-fi and time travel flavor. Damn! Dude, this is high praise, man. These people are loving this shit. Games Radar's Lauren would give it a 4 out of 5, says, sure, the Avengers and the Fantastic Four are cool, but wouldn't you much rather have an existential crisis after watching an array of mutant superheroes argue with themselves over doing the right thing? The answer is yes, actually. X-Men 97 is filled with gritty realism, but love is right there at its core. Man, that's awesome. Feels like it's like complex, but instantly recognizable in what it's trying to be. That's cool. Nexus Point News gave it a 4 out of 5. The show continues to be a constant reminder of why I no longer want to see the Avengers on my screen and why the X-Men must take over as they present complex storytelling that delivers thought-provoking characters of exploration. The relationship alone between Xavier and Magneto is worth checking out these first 4 episodes and hopefully the rest of the season. Yeah, there's going to be some really good shit between Xavier and Magneto, and man, I promised I wouldn't say anything about it, but just watch what Magneto does this season. It's so fucking classic Magneto, and I fucking love it. Okay, Game Reactor. Ben gave it an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10! But all in all, we are talking about a rather mirror of minor criticisms. For the most part, the return of the X-Men 97 is a triumph. It's great second season batch of episodes that will keep you thoroughly entertained. In my eyes, despite the promising nature of your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, X-Men 97 is the best Marvel animation has to offer to date, and I hope it will be treated with more episodes at a slightly faster rate going forward, as the thought of having to wait 26 months for another season sounds truly torturous. That's true, actually. Hopefully they can figure out a way, because like I would just like quit doing everything else. Like, stop trying to make fucking Echo shows and Hawkeye that's really about Hawkeye girl, lady, person, friend. Just stop all that. Just make the dope shit. Make the X-Men, do 20 seasons of X-Men 97 and shut the fuck up. Collider, we can ignore. So, anyway, what do you think, chat? Chat! What do you think, man? Pretty hyped up shit, no? Got you excited? Any questions? Any thoughts? And yes, I do think we should do watch parties for the show. I do think we should do watch parties for the show. At 8 out of 10, X-Men hater here. Exactly, right? Honeycomb with a 5 spot says, I'm just trying to listen about my favorite all-P of all time, X-Men, and I gotta hear you slander Invincible again. Take it back. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I'm a little butthurt about that tweet they did. You know? And how's it like, because can I just say something? Not to make this all fucking therapy time for Josh, but think about this. Why even share my thumbnail at all? That video had like 5,000 views. The Clips channel is smaller. Now it's great and a lot of you love it and it's growing, but like think about who runs this fucking account that's aware of your boy enough to find my thumbnail from the Clips channel and then put it on social media, get 40,000 likes, not tag me at all. So who is this slimy millennial or Gen Z or X or whatever you sexless people are called? Who is this person that's aware of your boy enough to go find that from the Clips channel and yet not try to propel my brand, not try to put me out there in any way, shape, or form? Who are these people, brother? And it's like, and it's not just this. I get this all the time. They hate to see me win. You know what I mean? Like, they truly fucking hate to see me win. It's crazy. Zachy Wacky says, yo, Jay, do you think that we could get a scene in Secret Wars where Steve, Tony, and Doom, and did you watch Maul Shadow Lord yet? No, I didn't. Seriously love your content. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, I do think we could get that scene, but maybe not in the way you think. Because you probably think Steve will be on Tony's side. Oh, I'm not so sure about that shit, especially when it comes to Secret Wars. But we'll see. Any other thoughts, comments, questions? Zach says, happy Monday, nerdy fam. I got to watch after work, but much love. Thanks for chilling Saturday, Josh. I hope your head is better. Yeah, the head's feeling good, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Dog, you're a millennial. Am I? Well, then millennials are cool. What's the one that suck? What are the new kids called that suck? What's this about Deadpool and Wolverine and Spider-Man leaked photo from Doomsday? Yeah, we talked about that months ago. That shit's real. I tried to tell you guys it was real. What does James say? Let's see here. What did James say? He probably gave a pretty good explanation. You don't make it easy to watch you win, to be fair. True. Hey, facts. True. Those are true facts that he said there. Would you say, James, that I'm a little smug? There's really no excuse for the low-quality animation of Invincible. It's One Punch Man Season 3 levels of bad. Yeah, it is. It really is, yeah. Gen Alpha. Okay, good. Okay, they're the young ones. Okay, good. I just want to know. Can we be perfect? Me using my Billy Bob Thornton face in the locker room? I don't know what that means, dog. Does this Season 2 narrative help Apocalypse's chances of appearing in the MCU? Possibly. Possibly. Yes. Wait, Josh actually think he wasn't a millennial? Did he think he was Gen X? I don't even know what those things mean. I just know that I'm dope and all the other ones are terrible. James says, you are smug, but I love it when I agree with you and I hate it when I don't. Hey, that's fair. That's fair. That makes sense to me. Yeah. Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Storm looks dope in the trailer. She sure does, man. Can we watch the Furious trailer now, Big Daddy Josh? No, let me out of this segment. Then I got to do a short for this segment. Then I got to talk about my Dark Phoenix theory. God. And what is this movie you're talking about? Furious? Is it on streaming yet? When does it come to streaming? Furious trailer now! Oh my God. What studio made the Furious trailer? Because it's going to take all my money. Lionsgate? Yeah, I can't watch this, guys. They'll copy strike me. It looks cool though. I like how the guy has a hammer. It reminds me of Warhammer. The fact that he has a hammer is very much like Warhammer. Yeah, I'll check it out on streaming, man. You know, when it goes to streaming as God intended it to be distributed through digital means, completely cutting out the antiquated theatrical distribution model. We'll watch it over there. Appreciate you though. Thank you. So Josh is an unk then? Yeah, I guess that's one way to put it. Josh, the type of millennial to open up a new overpriced burger joint saying, we do things different around here while jamming to Phillips. What the fuck is Phillips? Who's Phillips? Why does he have two names that are the same? What does he play? The guitar? Or the piano? Jeez. Okay. X-Men 97 Season 2. It's going to be dope. Watch what Magneto does. It's going to be really cool. Okay. Should we do a short? Ladies and gentlemen? Should we do a short? Seriously though, can we go back to the Invincible account? I'm actually being serious. What, like, how did that account even find that thumbnail? Like, what's your guys' theory? Because I'll tell you my theory right now. Maybe I shouldn't tell you my theory. I recently heard UNC doesn't stand for uncle, but uncool, and that made me sad. Well, if you believe that, then you're an UNC. Hey, Dave, I hope you're doing well too, man. Yeah, fam's good, man. The kids were at Grammys this weekend so that I could just get a migraine and waste my fucking time over here. But no, it was cool, man. They got a lot of good time with their aunt and Grammy, and they had fun. Their admin is someone you've banned in the past for sure, or someone I've talked shit on before. Yeah. I like how you're heated off of something you reminded yourself about. I know. I do that a lot, actually, yeah. Did you break down the leak already? What leak, brother? What leak are you referring to? I do have something to break down. I got something for that ass. Doop, 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 doop. All right, I got another one of those crazy Marvel theories where I got to take a thing way too far into a fanboy dream and probably conceive of something way fucking cooler than Marvel will actually do. But I just gotta be me. I'm a peacock captain. You gotta let me fly. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Sadie Sink, who just today was confirmed by Pooper Scooper Daniel, terrible ass, horrible person. We don't like him at all, but he does have accurate information, RPK. Because Daniel finally confirmed that Sadie Sink is Jean Grey. And in his words, it was something like, I can confirm 100% that she's Jean Grey. So that's cool. I was right. She's Jean Grey. But there's more. Check this out. Check this out. Also, I forgot to do the short for X-Men, and that's on Adam. So what is this? What the fuck is this? What is even this, chat? Well, this is an officially revealed description for Spider-Man Brand New Day, okay? This is coming out from official channels from Sony. It says here, it's a brand new day for Peter Parker, fighting crime full-time as Spider-Man in a world who doesn't remember him. And the pressure of seeing his old friends move on without him sparks a change in Peter he may not have the power to control. But that transformation might also be the only thing that can stop a shocking new threat to the city and those he loves. A powerful villain no one can even see. The world may have forgotten Peter Parker, but he hasn't forgotten them. Spider-Man Brand New Day in theaters this July. So, that's the official thing coming out from Sony. The most important part, especially when it comes to Sadie Sink, is this bit here about a shocking new threat to the city and those he loves. A powerful villain no one can even see. Now, that connects to the trailers. That connects to comments from Tremel Tillman, and it actually sort of builds a model of how they're going to explain this further to the audience, because in the very first trailer, Tremel Tillman says something like, we are facing a threat that we don't understand, one we can't even see. And in the second leaked trailer, in the various versions that I saw that were leaked, and it will officially drop this Wednesday, likely at 9 a.m. as tickets go on sale for Spider-Man in Eastern time. The second trailer has an extended version of that dialogue in which Tremel Tillman says, and you're the only one that's immune. You're the only one that can stop it. Now, that is pretty interesting considering this actually officially released description that says, but a transformation might also be the only thing that can stop a shocking new threat to the city, a powerful villain no one can even see. So again, this transformation seems to have given Peter the ability to fight against this villain, which seems to be corroborated by the comments from Tremel Tillman in the second trailer. Are you picking up what I'm setting down? Now, if it weren't for that pesky nerd that figured out Sadie Sink was going to be Jean Grey, we'd have no fucking idea who this villain could be. And if you're a normie, aunt, uncle, grandpa, grandma, you're looking at the description, you're looking at the trailers, and you're just like, oh my gosh, there's some kind of villain that's jumping from person to person, and that's really crazy. And you're not connecting that to Jean Grey. But it is Jean Grey. And what this implies about Jean Grey suggests one of two things. Number one, that this misguided version of Jean Grey that likely exists outside of the context of having the School for Gifted Youngsters, Charles Xavier as a mentor, Cyclops as a mentor and, lover, and of course the actual mental blocks that are put into her by Charles Xavier in the comics and in the Fox version. Absent all of that, maybe we just get a normal Jean Grey with no powers until she's 17 to 19 or whatever she's going to be in the movie. Her powers come on, and then she's just kind of mean. And she's a villain because she wasn't properly guided by Charles Xavier. That's possible. But I don't think that's what's going on. I think we're getting Dark Phoenix. Now, I know that sounds fucking ridiculous, and as many people even pointed out in the actual thing here, like Danny said here, is like, no way they're doing that a third time. And I understand that, right? But that's similar to this idea of like, no way they're putting Jean Grey into a Spider-Man movie. Some of this is being done because you don't think they'll do it, right? But let me explain why I think it's Dark Phoenix. Some of it is thematic, and then there's actually a breadcrumb trail to it. So first, let's talk about thematically. We more or less know that Peter Parker is turning into some kind of a monster. Again, this is revealed in the second trailer, which is about to come out on Wednesday. One of the things that the people say that are being possessed by Jean Grey on the street, they say something like, did you take care of that monster inside you? Or did you fix that monster that's inside of you? That's referring to the fact that this being that can take over people's minds, Jean Grey, is aware that Peter's going through this transformation. So she's goading him. She's teasing him. She's also threatening to go find MJ, which is pretty dark, you know, for just little old Sadie Sink Jean Grey. Why are you so dark? Why are you such a dick face? Why are you being so mean about this? Okay? But think about the themes of the movie. If Peter's turning into a monster, if the Hulk is turning into a monster because Hulk will become savage again, and Savage Hulk apparently breaks out in a way we've never seen before, very dangerous, might hurt some people, might even kill people, okay? By the way, there were some leaks of like wanted posters for Bruce Banner. So whatever happens, the government's going to be looking for him. It's not going to be a good look. That's really, really bad. But think about how the theme of going through a transformation and having a dark side or a monster come out. Think about how that ties Spider-Man, Hulk, and Phoenix together. Peter would have the Other or Man-Spider or something like that, right? Hulk, or Banner rather, has Hulk. Well, Jean Grey has the Phoenix. So Phoenix is a cosmic being and violent and powerful and frankly a little bit dark. And Phoenix makes a deal with Jean Grey when they're all about to die. And there's like this solar thing that's happening as they're re-entering the Earth's atmosphere. She makes a deal with the Phoenix, becomes the host for the Phoenix, and the Phoenix protects her. But Jean dies after that and is brought back to life, or comes back to life, and she's Phoenix. And what happens in the comics is, slowly but surely, Jean starts giving into her darker tendencies, and what you find is that the Phoenix is corrupting her. And thematically, it's just very similar to what's the duality of Hulk and Banner, what's the duality of Peter and the Other. And so I think there's a thematic through line where if she is Jean Grey, which she is, then just like Hulk has a villain inside him and Peter might have a villain inside him, I think Jean has a villain inside her. So that's the first reason. It's a thematic reason. But there's actually a breadcrumb trail here, okay? So Jeff Snyder revealed that one of the reasons he thought that Sadie was no longer going to be Jean Grey, and one of the reasons he started talking about other actresses as not only the villain for Spider-Man Brand New Day, but potentially being Phoenix. This is important. He reported other people being looked at for Jean Grey. He reported Sadie Snook, or one of the chicks from Succession, was going to be the main villain of the movie. Do you remember this? Well, Jeff explained one time on a podcast that this was a reason why he stopped believing Sadie was Jean, because there was casting information that went out that matched up to Jean Grey that was literally looking for a different actress, the Sandy Snook character, maybe even like other people. Now, you got to follow me on this because that's real, but I'm speculating about what it means. So what I think is going on is basically Jeff had it confirmed or had some info that whatever this role was that they were looking for casting for was the villain of the movie and was Phoenix or Jean. And so therefore he couldn't conceive of a way that that could be true, and yet Sadie Sink would also be Jean Grey, okay? But if you look at the fucking terrible ass Fox Simon Kinberg Dark Phoenix movie, I can't believe he's doing a trilogy of Star Wars movies, but let's just leave that for now. When you look at the Simon Kinberg Dark Phoenix movie, you can see that Jessica Chastain was in that film basically as a representative of like the Phoenix, or like this other entity that was manipulating her to give into her dark tendencies to become the Dark Phoenix. So it was probably something similar where at one time they were going to have either another Phoenix or another actress that was actually embodying the Phoenix that would be the villain, just in the same way that Hulk is technically different than Banner and Man-Spider or the other is technically different than Peter Parker. But that went away. That casting went away. They did not cast another character for the villain of this film. But it makes me think that the reason why is because they just realized it would be easier to just have Sadie be both. And so just like Hulk, you're going to have a good side of Jean maybe, and then a dark side of Jean, which would be Phoenix. Okay, so that's part of why I believe this. But let me address some of the complaints and some of the reasons that people are like, no, I still don't see it. They're not doing this for the third time. They can't just do the Dark Phoenix in a Spider-Man movie. Well, look, in a way, you're right, because I don't think they're going to do full-on Dark Phoenix. I don't think she fully becomes Dark Phoenix and takes over the world in a Spider-Man movie. But I think what they're doing is laying a thematic groundwork that's similar to Hulk and Peter with Phoenix so that we can understand it better. And she will likely overcome the dark side due to Peter, either being heroic, overcoming his own dark side, or sacrificing himself to get her to see the point. And I think she is rehabilitated by the end of this film and does not give in to the Dark Phoenix. But it'll be there. It'll be lingering, and it'll probably be something that comes back up again in the X-Men saga. Okay? So it's not going to be, like when I say she's Jean, she is, but she's not going to like put on the suit and roll out with the Autobots under Charles Xavier's orders. That's not going to happen. It's more like she's a version of Jean that is dealing with the changes of the sacred timeline that Kang did. And in that same way, it's not like she's going to be Dark Phoenix in this movie, full-on Dark Phoenix, fire powers, burning everything down, killing everybody, and taking over the planet. No, I think the Phoenix is driving her to be violent, to do things that Jean normally wouldn't do. All the things that happened in the lead up to the Dark Phoenix run in the Claremont comics, some of it's just her, like there was even a point, I believe, where somebody did something bad to a female. It might have been like a British character, and Jean goes way too far. She sends him, she makes him look at the truth of reality, and he loses his fucking mind. She boils his brain, basically. And I remember this part because everybody in the comic was like, whoa, you might have went a little too far there, Jean. And she's like, what do you mean? Believe all women. Hashtag time's up. And everybody was like, fuck, I guess you're right. I won't say shit about it. And we sort of slowly realized that she's becoming a monster. And when she gets the full power, it's too late. It's like too late. She fucking kills basically everybody. It's crazy. Dark Phoenix is crazy. So anyways, I hope that makes sense. And I hope that you understand why I think this. I really do think that she could be Dark Phoenix. One last thing I'll add to this. This part's heavily speculative, and I could not get this confirmed from any of the people that worked on the actual movie that were willing to betray Kevin's trust and tell me things like Sadie's playing Jean Grey. But I always thought if they were going to do Phoenix, and if they potentially were going to do a Dark Phoenix for a Spider-Man movie, wouldn't it be cool if that Phoenix was actually working for Doctor Doom the whole time? What if she's working for Doom the whole time? What if she's not from that universe? She's there to fuck with Peter Parker. She's there to fuck with the Avengers, make them weaker, so that when Doom comes in, he could actually like be the hero and help them out or something. I don't know. But I've never been able to let go of this idea that Doctor Doom is involved in the Spider-Man movie in some way. Maybe he's manipulating an innocent Jean Grey and pushing her towards the Phoenix. I don't know. But I just can't get that idea out of my head that Doom will be involved in some way, that this is potentially a weird 60 chess thing from Doom to try to throw Peter off. I'm not really sure, but I did just want to mention that at the end of this segment. So anyways, chat, there you have it. That's why I believe it. That's why I believe it. What do you think, chat? No way? Yes way? Is this one of the craziest theories I've ever had? Did I take it too far? Did I refuse to take the victory lap for the Jean Grey thing, and I just had to take it even further and open myself up to being wrong and look like a schmuck? What do you think's going on? Oh, thanks, Hail Wizard. Yeah, no, it was great. The card was great, and yeah, I like making money on gambling. That's always fun. Who might be the main villain? Oh, it's Jean Grey. Josh just wants Phoenix Cyclops. I certainly do. Yes. This rumor I hate, says Scotty Knows. Oh, no. I predicted Dark Phoenix when Jean first leaked. Just saying, I called it. Fair. Fair. Isn't Jean supposed to be angry because they killed her sister, or was that not true? I have no idea. I've never heard that. Dark Phoenix is necessary evil to contextualize the X-Men. Yeah, and I kind of like the idea of just teasing it out, not having it fully manifest. It's a little bit like Stark's darker tendencies, actually, because even in the first Iron Man movie and then in Avengers, like, you see him, you're like, oh, bro, like, he's got a dark side to him. And then Age of Ultron, you sort of see the mad scientist dark side come out a little bit more. And they play with Tony's dark side a lot throughout the movies. So, yeah, I think they could do a similar thing with Sadie, because as I've stated before, I think she's the new RDJ. Like, they're betting heavily on Sebulba, dude. They want her to be the face of the X-Men saga. They want Jean to be very important to the X-Men saga. And I think especially because she's going to help out in Secret Wars, they're setting up something different for this Jean. You know? Sarah Snook. Yes, that's who she was. Talk about the Miles Warren / Jackal rumors. Well, to be honest with you, I haven't heard much about it other than I do think that one homie that's got the great voice, Keith David, maybe. I do think he's playing Jackal. I don't think he becomes Jackal in this movie. I think he's more like the Professor, and it could be connected to like MIT and some of these other things, but I actually haven't heard too much about it. I hope this isn't your Mephisto. I know, I had to take it too far, didn't I? Why is nobody putting together that Jackal is the main villain body hopper? A plot leak back in February said that Jackal's body is dying and he needs a host. He's in the cast too on Google. Yeah, just no fucking way. Sorry, like there's just no way that's true. I mean, maybe Jackal plays a more prominent role than I thought he would, but that Jackal shit makes zero sense within the context of everything else I know about the movie, at least. So do you guys really think it's more probable that Jackal is the mystery villain of this movie? Is that real? Do you think they will touch on Kang in Doomsday? No. It's Jackal. Oh, sorry, yeah. If Sadie is Jean, moving forward in the X-Men saga, I feel like they ultimately need a new Wolverine. Can't have Hugh crushing on Sadie. That's weird. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think they'll do both. I think they'll do a new Wolverine and keep Jackman around. But we'll see. Have you talked about Sebastian Stan possibly not playing Harvey Dent? No, I haven't really, because I just don't care that much. I do think Brian Tyler Henry is a terrible choice for Two-Face. I'm not against a black Two-Face. I think, oh man, Lando, Billy D. Williams, doesn't he technically play Harvey Dent in one of the older Batman movies? And I thought he was great as Harvey Dent. I'm not against a black Two-Face, but like fucking cast somebody that feels like Two-Face. Like, Brian, are you kidding me? Brian Tyler Henry? Terrible casting. But yeah, generally speaking, I'm just not that, like, I'm interested in the Batman Part 2, but I'm not into it in the way that I am with some of this Marvel stuff, so I just don't care as much. I just don't care as much. Is that confirmed? Well, it came out from Jeff Snyder, and a lot of people tried to debunk it because I think the trades implied that Sebastian Stan was playing Harvey Dent. But I got to be honest with you, I have no reason to doubt Jeff on this, especially because I think one of his sources is literally Matt Reeves. Or I guess what I should say is I think Matt Reeves has the ability to contact Jeff and say that's not true. Because Matt Reeves follows Jeff on Twitter, I believe. Victor Zsasz. Yeah, and Zsasz is cool. Like, that's fine. You know, Sebastian will kill it. You seen those Hot D reviews? I have not looked thoroughly at them, but I did hear from some people that I trust that first episode is fire. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for that one. Okay, we gotta do the short for the X-Men 97 Season 2 reviews, okay? Just real quick. I just gotta do the short real quick, and then we'll hang out for a little bit, and then I'm gonna get on out of here, okay? Oh boy, X-Men 97 Season 2. Fuck, retake that one. Boy, X-Men 97 Season 2, which I definitely said perfectly the first time when recording this, is about to come out. And fans are all asking the same question. Is there any way Season 2 could possibly be as good as Season 1 of X-Men 97? Now, real quick story time for those of you that don't realize this. X-Men 97 Season 1 is a goddamn masterpiece. It happened at exactly the right time. Marvel really needed a win, and it was incredible. But we also believe that a lot of what made Season 1 so good had to do with Beau DeMayo, who was the showrunner and the lead writer of that show. Really talented guy that obviously knows his X-Men. Unfortunately, Beau is no longer with Marvel Studios, and there's a lot of debate as far as how much of his original plan for Season 2 was carried out by the team without him. Now, we still don't have a complete answer on that. Maybe we never will get that answer. But one of the answers we do have is the early reviews. A bunch of critics got the first 4 episodes of X-Men 97, and they are glowing reviews, man. People are loving this show. It's literally a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes right now, and you look at the reviews themselves, and it's a resounding, oh my God, it's just as good as Season 1, if not better. So, something that a lot of us were very worried about, probably don't have to be worried about as much. It seems like X-Men 97 Season 2 still got the sauce, baby! One of the best goddamn things Marvel has going for it, and I'm excited to watch the new episodes. Boom! Boom, shakalaka. And we out. I think it's the Jackal. What's the Jackal? What current MCU actors do you think will make it past the reboot? No idea. No idea, brother. And frankly, I'm not going to use a lot of brain power on that one because I'm hungry and tired. So, sorry. Okay. Before we get out of here, I just want to say again, thank you guys. Really appreciate it. Appreciate all the support. Appreciate the attention. Coming over here to hang out with little old me as we talk about nerdy shit. I appreciate your patience as we change things up in this studio and we get the new equipment and things going on. I'm hoping to have things locked in more before July. So thank you for that. One last time I want to say, if you are an editor, I'm looking for more editors, man. I need help editing videos. I've got multiple channels. I need help editing, but I'm not looking for amateur editors. I'm looking for people that have done editing professional before. Show me your reel. Show me what other YouTubers you've edited videos for. I need to know that you actually know how to edit. I need to know your rates, and I'll be able to plug you into what I'm trying to accomplish right now. So if you are an editor, if you've edited for other YouTubers, or maybe you went to school or did some editing on other actual films or whatever, hit me up, man. Email me at thedenofnerds@gmail.com or hit me up on Twitter. Maybe we can plug you in. I need to know what your skills are, but maybe we can plug you in and get you some work. Thank you. Are you starting the Space Wolves army with that Justin W. money? Yeah, maybe, but I gotta tell you, so with 11th actually launching, a higher priority for me is like building, acquiring and building and painting anything that I need to have playable armies from what I already have. So like, for instance, I got to finish my Deathwing Knights. I think I still need to do a couple of those. There's like those new Intercessors. There's the new Librarian. There's stuff I want to build and paint. That'll probably be in a Dark Angel style. Maybe I'll get some new Custodes pieces. It just kind of depends on what the points are for that. I could see myself getting a couple more Dreadnoughts or something. And that's just higher priority than starting the Space Wolves army because, dude, I'm not going to be able to fill the full Space Wolves army either way until late this year or next year. That's just what it is, man. You know? So, yes, but it's not going to be ready anytime soon. Does that make sense? I have a real, it's 60-pound line on them right now. What does that even mean? How do you feel about Rema Tut in X-Men 97? I think it's going to be solid. Are you hiring a therapist? I graduate in December. No. No, but thank you for the offer. Damn, Ilya and Alex got domed. Yeah, they sure did. And Alex got domed on the back of the dome with like 30 illegal strikes. Insanity. Seriously, kind of crazy. Oh, a fishing rod. Oh, okay, right on. Yeah, cool. Cool. But I'm going to get out here in just a second, guys. Any other thoughts, questions, comments? What's up? What are you guys thinking about? Did you have a good time? Was it a good stream? I felt like it was a pretty good stream. I had a good time. I hope you did too. I hope you did too. Yeah, appreciate it. Cool. Gone is a cheater. I mean, he certainly does not fight very clean, seems to me. Solid stream. Appreciate it. I've been on RuneScape this whole time. Oh, yeah? New version of RuneScape? Classic RuneScape? What kind of RuneScape? I got sucked back into the grind. I hear you there, man. I hear you there. Classic. Okay, cool. Dark Boyd, want to trade in the forest? Oh, shit, y'all going into the forest together when it's dark. You're going to try Cyclops and Rivals? Maybe eventually, but I actually want to get a little bit back into Diablo 4, and I was having a blast playing Halo, man. I was having a blast playing Halo, so I probably play some more Halo. But yeah. Maybe I'll get back into Rivals. If Doctor Doom really comes to Rivals, I'll get back into Rivals for sure. Because I need to play Doctor Doom and shit on everybody with Doom. 'Twould be glorious. 'Twould be glorious. All right, everybody. Well, look, man, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming here on a Monday. Sorry we were a little bit delayed. It's Adam's fault. Just a lot of changes and things going on in the office. A lot of updates to equipment, et cetera, and it's all Adam's fault. So thank you very much for that. If you're an editor, reach out. Otherwise, clips will post later. We'll get some shorts posted up on the streaming channel as well. Hope you guys enjoy those. And we're cooking some videos for the main channel also. Oh, hell yeah. Let's see if this thing... Is this thing going to... Hang on 1 second. Let me try this. Okay, it hasn't frozen or glitched yet. Let's try this. Let's try this.
The following.
And turn that off and then. Okay, as I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Oh man, another happy landing. What a glorious stream it was. We went all over the place, talked about all sorts of things. We got serious, we got silly. It was awesome. Hell yeah. Appreciate ya. Hey, do me a favor, man. Get on out of the house today, man. Go get some fresh air. Go touch some grass. Go touch some ass. Consensually. Jesus. Go have some fun. Get the blood pumping. Get the blood flowing. Feel alive, man. And you know what? Add a couple other things to the list. Open up that third eye. Yeah. And wash out your stinky butt. Whole. Okay, bye.